Hey guys, Coach Dan here. We've got a back workout today, but before, a bit of life advice for people out there. You just can't trust people who don't think farts are funny. Funny, doesn't matter who you are. If you are in you're in Buckingham Palace, you're the king or the queen, and you're not laughing at farts, you can't be trusted. They're just a funny thing, you know? It doesn't matter, truckie, politician, farts are funny. So if anyone you know doesn't think farts are funny, you clear them out of your life pretty quickly. All right, back workout today. We are feeling good this week, so happy days. We ride this wave. We keep going. We're going to start with some lat prayers to kind of pre-fatigue the lats and get them as isolated as possible before we smash them out with some rows. So let's smash it out. Let's go. Let's not waste too much time. All right, first up we have this lat press. So I've been using this at the beginning of a workout, especially prior to my lat dominant day, just to kind of fire the lats up. So this is probably one of the closest movements you can get to an isolated lat movement, even though your triceps going to work here, probably rear delts, probably some other things in the back as well. But get the back nice and toasty, or the lats nice and toasty before we head over and we do our rows, so we can feel them really well on those. So use this B-strap, people use ropes, straight bars, whatever. This felt comfy last week, and essentially we're just going to lean forward into it and drag the shoulder down and into the body. So if you think of the lat essentially is a muscle that will come and attach to your front of your arm, kind of wrap under over your rib cage and attach to different parts of your spine and also to your pelvis. So we're trying to isolate that movement as best we can. When we go to row, your arm, your bicep works here, it's all lat. So we're pulling in like that, squeeze those lats as you come, big stretch at the top. We kind of have this lean forward, drag, squeeze, straight, squeeze. I really like this. There's some pullover machines out there that are pretty good, but for this one, this just feels better to me, so I've been going with this lately. A couple of sets here to fire the lats up, and then we'll head to our first rowing movement. So we come from the lat prayer, trying to isolate the lats as best as possible, and then we work into our rowing movements. Now along with this, we've got bicep, rear delt, all this other kind of stuff, but hopefully because of that pre-fatigue, that little bit of work beforehand, it'll be nice and easy to feel it, feel good about it, and yeah, I think I started that last week and I like it. So this one here, this is a compound row, I believe it's called. I'm gonna do them single arm just so I can line up. Really, really nice machine, this one. So I'll place one foot here, grab the handle like such, kind of get myself as stable as possible, let it all stretch out and pull. So my arm is right in close to my body. Real nice. Just keeping it close, trying to make it as lat dominant as possible. So when we row, you think about, again, we discussed the lat before, it kind of touches to the front of your arm, wraps down by your rib cage. So it's going to kind of pull your arm in and around towards the spine and down towards the pelvis. Anything where we take our arm and we kind of go away from the body, it's not going to necessarily use less lat. It just might potentially allow some of those other muscles to kind of help and take over. And again, there might not be anything wrong with that. If you're wanting like an overall back exercise, that's potentially a better way to go, because you want to be efficient with your time and you want to use as much muscle as possible. Yeah, maybe somewhere in between where we can the lat, upper back and all that other kind of stuff. For me, I've got multiple exercises targeting multiple things today. So this one I want to make about the lat horizontally. The next one I've got a pull down for the lat, and then we work to upper back. So for me, make it lat dominant, keep the arm close, almost pulling it in around towards the spine, single arm so I can line it up. Happy days. Excellent, this one. Potentially maybe the only better way this machine could be would be something to kind of brace against and hold against to kind of keep yourself stable, which I was just discussing with the owner. So, but other than that, she's a beauty. All right, let's add our weight, go to set one. Next up, neutral grip, lat pull down. So if we've already come from doing a movement that's horizontal like this, maybe that's targeting a different part of our lats, like a more thoracic part or towards the kind of middle of your back where the lat comes in and comes towards the spine. Now we're kind of going down, making sure we target the lat that kind of comes in towards your hip or iliac area. So that might be a consideration to keep in mind when training your back. We kind of want to go through some different ranges to challenge it from different positions. For lats, I go neutral with the grip, something in here, maybe narrow in some circumstances. For today, it's this. And then, yeah, pulling nice and close to the body, pulling down to best target the lats. If we wanted to do an overhand or a wider pull down, it's again, not using your lats at all. It just potentially doesn't use them, or it just potentially starts to use some other muscles along with it, right? So we go neutral grip, lock those legs in nice and tight so you don't get pulled up, and then pull the elbows down into the pockets. So we're here close, driving it down so we smash those lats. All right, 10 to 15 on the rep range here. Here we go. Okay, so now we have the low row. So I've been figuring out the seat position on this one and just having a kind of look and a feel of it and just changing the hand position. So trying to line the resistance up with what we're trying to work and with the path of the machine. So just had someone, or like the owner, kind of critique how my hands look, which you can't always see when you're doing it yourself, so that's a good thing. So make the seat a little higher, so we're kind of all in line. So this whole sort of thing is going in one line and we're driving back in one direction, whereas I had my seat low and it kind of wrist kind of kinks and when it's not working all together. So in this one, we kind of go low on the handle. The seat's pretty high. For this, I've got to reach right over. And then the thing about the low row is that it's coming up. So we're kind of focused on the traps and the muscles of the upper back, because now the lats really aren't going to be able to contribute, because the lats kind of all focus, although all the fibers are either going horizontal or down. So in this kind of situation, we're going up. It doesn't allow them to contribute very well to the movement. So yeah, that's the low row. Let's go to set one. We go 3 sets here. Now we're kind of leaning more towards the upper back. All right, so we move from a low row where we're kind of coming up into that kind of shrugging kind of position, and now we're focusing on a different part of the trap. So if you think about different jobs of the traps, they do things like shrug, so bringing your shoulders kind of towards your ear, retraction of the shoulder blades, and then sort of depression of your shoulder blades. So if we were kind of coming towards that shrugging movement with the low row, now we're kind of coming more horizontally, and that's kind of that that retraction or that squeezing of the shoulder blades that we're mainly training here. So this one feels really good. We're going to take an overhand, elbows driven out to the side. It kind of comes in and sort of dips slightly down. So stretching out over the chest pad, drive elbows back, squeeze shoulder blades at the end, or that action feeling of squeezing the shoulder blades. So different angle, different part of the trap, potentially doing more work here. So we're kind of ticking all the boxes. All right, only 2 sets here. All right, capping the workout off with some bicep curls. So this is my funky looking lying bicep curl variation. So the idea here is that we're getting the arm behind or in line with the level of the body, and we are making it hard when we are, because of dumbbells are going against gravity or coming down with gravity, right? So we want to make it hard again. So if you're using a machine, you've got a cable, that changes the resistance. But as it works with dumbbells, again, it's about gravity. So if I get on this bench like such, get my elbow supported here, my arm is behind the level of my body, stretching the bicep out more, but also making it hard in that stretch position. So if I were to do these standing, it doesn't get hard till I start to go up. So here it's hard at the beginning because I'm going up against gravity at the beginning. So lying, elbow supported bicep curl variation I've done these before like such, but this gives us a little bit more stability with the bench. All right, we've got 5 sets here, so let's get ready for the long haul. All right, so that's a wrap on the pull workout, guys. Back biceps done. Now it's time to head into the back half of the week. Yeah, so going good this week. We keep grinding, keep going, keep getting a little bit better. Happy with how that workout went on the overall. A couple little setup pointers that I learned just from someone watching me do some stuff. So we're always learning, always getting better. Remember, you can't trust people who don't think farts are funny. So that's a life lesson to live by. And as always, guys, do the liking, subscribing, click the face somewhere up here and the playlist somewhere up here to look at videos and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff. And always remember, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.